going to start reading some fun words today. All right, first word for us to read together. I was going to have this one in the spelling class, all of you who are in my spelling class, but I wanted to save it for the reading class. So here is the word. If you already know how to read it, hang out with me. Hang out with me because you might not know all of the reasons why it says what it does. And that's what we're doing. I'm teaching you the why of the word so that you can apply those reading rules to every word where you'll encounter them. All right, so what's happening here? This U is making its short sound because of the tap 2 rule. The next two letters are consonants. This X sounds like this. Most people don't know what the X sound is. They think the sound for X is X. It's not. It's a silent sound. Only air comes out. It sounds like a silent KS. X, X. That's what sound X makes. This A is a little bit of a rule breaker. It's changing to the schwa sound right here. This O is making its short O. The schwa sound is like ago or banana, This O is making its long sound because of the tap 2 rule. There's another vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots. This I is making its short sound even though there aren't 2 consonants after it because it's in the middle syllable. There is a vowel before it that doesn't touch it. Here's this vowel. There's a vowel before it that's not touching it and a vowel after it that doesn't touching it that qualifies it as being in the middle syllable. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 syllable word. If that I were here, here, or here, it would still qualify as being in the middle. And so the confident rule is when an I is in the middle syllable, it does not require 2 consonants after it for it to make its short sound. TI spells sh when it's toward the end of a multi-syllable word, and there's a vowel after it. And O, toward the end of a multi-syllable word with a consonant after it, says If you've been in my reading class all year, then these things will sound familiar, or you will just know them by heart. But if you're brand new, then this might sound complicated, but don't worry, it gets easier. And the more, because the rules are so often repeated that you're going to learn them like the back of your hand. So if you're just brand new, hang in there with us because it might sound complicated now, but it gets familiar and you'll be able to do it without me in no time. So this O is saying this A is saying They're both changing to the schwa sound. All right, so take a minute and read this word and then I will read it after. This S, by the way, is sounding like a Z. That's how it will be broken up. We're really marking this word up a lot, aren't we? All right, so if we took it syllable by syllable, we have j, x, jux, t, ta, juxta, po, juxtapo, z, I. That S is making its vibrating sound because the letters after it and before it also vibrate. Z, I, z, juxtapose, shun, juxtaposition, juxtaposition. Let me know in the Q&A, yes, you got that one without me, or A, almost. Nice, Fatma. Almost every single person got almost on that word. Okay. Only 2 people were able to get that one. Interesting. All right, well, I'm going to bring it up a lot more during this lesson so that you'll be able to read juxtaposition. Like it's nothing. Oh, my cursive is pretty messy, isn't it? Juxtaposition means contrast, like a comparison. If you're if things are in juxtaposition, then you're comparing that contrast. Next, we have, oh yeah, this word I had in spelling class. I'm going to bring it up in this one too. All right, so we have OR that says or, as in for or order. We have ER that spells as in her. And E at the end of a longer word usually says E. So go ahead and pencil read this word. Yeah. This word doesn't really roll off the tongue very easily. It's a little bit of a, your mouth is like, you really want me to say that? It's kind of a hard word to say. So we have or, orn, orner. Isn't that hard to say? It is for me. Orner, ornery, ornery. My whole life, you guys, until recently, I thought that people were saying ornery, like my child is so ornery. I thought they were saying like you're going to honor somebody. Ornery. It wasn't until I saw the word, I'm like, ornery? I was supposed to have been saying ornery that whole time. Yeah, it means kind of grouchy. Ornery. I mean, it's kind of a fun word to know about, but I've been saying it wrong my entire life. Doesn't it help when you can see the spelling of a word? Right? I'll never forget my friend who I showed her the spelling of porcupine and she said, porcupine? I had thought, and she was like 37. I thought it was porcupine my whole life. And me, if you were in my reading class 2 years ago, you saw me in real time realize that this word, and I'm a spelling teacher. Let me bring up my chat. I saw this on a street sign and I said, why are they spelling it raspberry? Raspberry? I didn't know that raspberry had a P in it. It kind of helps when you can see the spelling of a word like ornery to say it properly. Helps me. Anyway, all right, next word. By the way, say this word for me. Or read it. What is that word? Juxtaposition. Juxtaposition. Ornery. Ornery. Next. So here we have, rats. This O is breaking the rule. It's making its long sound. You're going to see pro as a prefix that comes at the beginning of a lot of words. And that O is long. This I is making it short sound. It follows the tap 2 rule. You'll see that there's not 2 V's after it. That's because I can say it if it's in the middle syllable, regardless of if there are 2 consonants after it or not. Now both of these I's follow the exact same rule. They're both in the middle because there's a vowel after it that doesn't touch it and a vowel before it that doesn't touch it. So they both qualify as being in the middle. E at the end of a multisyllable word usually says E. So go ahead and pencil read this word. This C is making its normal hard sound. All right, so we have per, pro, proc, procl, procli, proclive, proclive, proclivit, proclivity, proclivity. Make sure you get that R sound in there. Proclivity. The R and the L are going to be the most difficult letters to read. Proclivity. Did you get that one? Why? Am I sharing my screen? Did I do that whole thing without? And are you guys? Could you see that? Nobody put anything in the Q&A. I mean, oh, maybe you did. Ah, you guys have been sending me messages the whole time. And I didn't have my messages pulled up because I was so busy talking to you about raspberry. All right, here is proclivity. Where'd it go? There it is. So just look at it with me. So we have this O saying O, this I saying I, this I saying I. They both follow the tap 2 rule. And the Y at the end of the word usually says E. Proclivity. Proclivity. Now, while I add it to my list here, read this first word. Juxtaposition. What's this word? Ornery, ornery. And how about this one? Proclivity, proclivity. Proclivity means that you are inclined toward something. Like something is kind of, you have an inclination toward something, a quality usually. Thank you for your patience with that word. My apologies. Bless your guys' hearts. Okay, next. Next we have, all right, here's a doozy. So we have a tap 2 rule I that's going to say I because the next 2 letters are consonants. The C is going to make its normal hard sound K. This U is following the tap 2 rule. It says U or oo because there is another vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots. This A is a rule breaker. It's going to say the schwa sound. This I and this I both say I for 2 different reasons. This one is because it's in the middle syllable and it gets to follow the confident rule. This one because it's part of the suffix itty, itty. And then Y at the end of a longer word usually says E. Go ahead and take a minute and try reading this word. I'm going to tell you how the syllables are broken so you can break it up into tiny little parts. All right, so if we took it syllable by syllable, we have I, N, in, sk, oo, screw. Putting those 2 together, in screw. T, that changes to the schwa sound. It says so we have ta. In scruta. B, I, b. Inscrutable, inscrutable. L, I, li. Inscrutability. And then we have t, e, t. Inscrutability, inscrutability. How is that one? Yes, you got it, or A almost. Do Do you prefer to do the course on the website or go with your YouTube lesson? I'm already on 42. I would do both. I would do both if you can. Good question, Mohammed. All right. I'm going to say about half got this one and half got an almost. Inscrutability. Inscrutability. It means obscurity. Inscrutability, when I was looking at the definition, all of the synonyms were words that I didn't know the definition of. And it was hard for me to pick one, but I picked obscurity. I kind of know what obscurity means, but inscrutability is a little inscrutability. The meaning of it is inscrutable to me. Go ahead and read this first word right here. Juxtaposition. How about this one? Ornery. How about this one? Proclivity. And your new one. Inscrutability. Inscrutability. Let's do one more. This one might not be super hard to read, but there are some rules that I really want you to know about in this word. Okay. Non is a common, I just told you what it is, but that's okay. It's a common prefix. It means without. These 4 prefixes, I think there's more than 4 actually. Here's 5 that I can think of. A lot of them mean not or without. They're just prefixes that you just add them to the beginning of words to change the meaning. So this U is going to, this O is going to say ah because of the tap 2 rule. Same with this U is going to say because there are 2 consonants after it. And then this ED has 3 sounds. ED can sound like a T, it can sound like a D, or it can sound like an ED. But you don't have to wonder. It's all dependent upon the letter before it. This is voiceless. The sound for T, is a voiceless sound. There's no vocal cords being used. This is voiced. And this sounds like ed. This voiceless sound comes when the letter before it is also voiceless. This voiced sound, d, comes when the letter before it is also voiced. And this ed sound, ed, comes when the letter before it is a T or a D, one of these. So because this ed is coming after a voiceless sound, it's going to make its voiceless sound and say t. Okay, so go ahead and pencil read this word. Mohammed, how do you break down that word into syllables? We had a lesson on that last month. If you want to go back into the recordings for September, it's called syllable division. It's going to blow your mind. It's so good. You're going to love that recording. Okay. I'll give you a couple more seconds here. So we have nonplussed. Nonplussed. That ed is saying t because the letter before it is voiceless. Just for kicks, just for fun. What would that word have said if there was only one S in it? If there was only one S, now that U has to be long. It has to say its name, and it would say nonplussed. Nonplussed. So that's why there are 2 S's. That's the doubling rule. We always also had a lesson in that in September. That's why letters are doubled, to make that vowel before it make it short sound, which is really helpful for reading, right? It's really handy when you're reading to know if a vowel is going to make it short sound or long sound. You just have to look at the next 2 letters. Isn't that the best thing you've heard all week? Nonplussed means bewildered. You know what? I'm nonplussed at the meaning of inscrupulous or inscrutability. All right, my friends, you're amazing. Thank you for making the time to come tonight. We learned some great rules, reminded ourselves of some important reading patterns that are common that you can apply to other words now that you're going to be encountering. And we're going to continue doing this till the end of the year. Have a great night. We'll see you on Wednesday. Bye, everybody.